Hi guys, hope you're doing well. Today we're gonna see in which oil to cook. Because nowadays on the internet there's a lot of information. Some people say you should use this oil, you should avoid this one, and we're kind of lost. So I've gathered all the scientific data to answer that question. So let's get straight into it. The first parameter that comes into play when choosing an oil to cook is the smoke point. What is the smoke point? It is the temperature at which the oil, the butter, the fat starts to break down and starts to get unhealthy, toxic. And how do you know that you've reached the smoke point? Well, when you reach it, the oil starts to get black, brown, it starts to get smoky as the name suggests, and it stinks. It starts to have a very particular smell. And again, you want to avoid cooking it till the smoke point because it becomes dangerous. The smoke point of common oils like coconut oil, butter, olive oil is around 200 degrees Celsius, which is about 400 degrees Fahrenheit. And for vegetable oils such as seed oils, avocado oil, canola oil, it's more around 250, 260 degrees Celsius, which is approximately 520 degrees Fahrenheit. Does it mean that you only have to cook with vegetable and seed oils? No, because actually it's more complicated than that. Because in fact, you should never be cooking up to that temperature, right? When you cook a food past 180 degrees Celsius, 200 degrees Celsius, not only you get closer to the smoke point of the oil you're using, so it can become dangerous, but also it's bad for the actual food that you're cooking, right? The steak, the rice, the vegetables, whatever. Because think about it. The minerals, vitamins, the nutrients that are found in food are sensitive to temperature, right? So if you cook with a heat that is too high, not only the oil is going to get damaged, but also you're not going to keep the nutritional values of the food you're cooking. So when you're cooking, always use medium or low heat. You can go up to max 50-60% of your maximum heat. So as you should be never cooking with high heat, the smoke point is not really important, right? Because you will never get to the smoke point. So what's more relevant, what actually matters, is another parameter, and it's saturation. I don't want my video to be a chemistry class, so I'm gonna make it simple, don't worry. In nature, there are two types of fats: saturated fatty acids and unsaturated fatty acids. And for cooking, you want to use as much as possible fats that are rich in saturated fatty acids, because saturated fatty acids are stable when you cook them, whereas unsaturated fatty acids are unstable when you cook them, so they can oxidize and they can become harmful. And the most common unsaturated fatty acids are seed oils. That's why seed oils are kind of criticized nowadays. Some guys say they create inflammation in your body for years, they're extremely toxic, whatever. I've made a video a few days ago about are seed oils actually dangerous, and they're not inherently bad. If you take a good high quality seed oil, there is no big deal, but you don't want to cook with them. That's true, because again, they're rich in unsaturated fatty acids, which are unstable with high temperatures. So canola oil, sesame oil, sunflower oil, all the seed oils, you want to use them only out of the frying pan. You can use them as a dressing, on a salad, on rice, but don't use them to cook. Fish oil is the same thing. It's pretty unusual to cook with fish oil, but if you're doing it, just avoid it. Now, between unsaturated and saturated fatty acids, there's kind of an in-between. Olive oil, which is a monounsaturated fatty acid, so it's kind of an in-between. And actually, if you cook with extra virgin organic olive oil, it's good. But what's even better is to use fats that are extremely high in saturated fatty acids, such as butter, lard, beef tallow, and the best of the best, coconut oil. Those oils, again, especially coconut oil, are extremely rich in saturated fatty acids, so they're not going to oxidize when you cook them. They're very stable with high heat. But you might ask, are saturated fats actually good for you? Because they have kind of a poor reputation, like seed oils. Some people say that saturated fatty acids are toxic, are dangerous. Actually, there's meta-analysis, and again, all the references are in the description below, that show that if you consume saturated fatty acids reasonably, it doesn't increase your chances of contracting heart diseases, right? So there's no big deal if you consume it reasonably. So in short, all oils can be used as long as it's high quality, but for cooking it's a bit different. Firstly, never cook with high heat, only medium or low heat. This way you prevent going to the smoke point and you preserve the nutrients in the food that you're cooking. And secondly, to choose the fat that you're going to cook with, use preferably olive oil, or even better, beef tallow, lard, butter, and olive oil. If you take organic, cold pressed, extra virgin coconut oil, it's perfect. It seems a bit expensive, but it's a great investment considering that it's for your health and you're cooking almost every single day. Now, it's the end of the video, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you learned something. If you did, please leave a comment, leave a like. You can also subscribe to my channel and click the bell button to support me. And I'll see you next time.